So guys, right, creating time, creating the rhythm, space and the room in your swing. It's almost like, I guess, creating a little bit of effortless power and getting things, you know, the moves, the sequence to complement each other. The kinematic sequence, how can we get in there and feel and notice these things? Later on in the video we're going to be looking at some evidence-based material, and really, as funny as it sounds, in slow motion you can see rhythm. You can see where it starts from. So we're going to take you through some of the moves. The first thing is creating a backswing where everything's moving and finishing off before we're starting down too early. So in other words, what I like to say, to get things to collect at the top, where we're looking at really good structure, and from here we're creating some resistance, almost you could probably say some energy, and then we can move that energy into the right spots with a couple of feels that also give the swing a nice look to it. All right, but it's not about making a swing look good, it's about hitting it solid, better mistakes, getting your compression, all the things that we like to show people on worldclassgolf.com. Join the community there, guys. There's lots going on. Guys, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Plenty of videos. Hit that bell, and then apparently you get notification of the videos. Now, looking at creating the time in the swing, one of the first things, of course, as we've heard for many, many years, is top golfers talking about getting the things to finish the swing off, getting things to collect nicely at the top. Right, now this is not always that easy to do under extreme pressures on the golf course, with, you know, the external pressures of the game, or maybe there's an out of bounds or water, or you haven't been playing that nicely, even headwinds. But getting the swing to finish the swing off and getting everything to move effectively. One of the great feels that you can do here is not really more turn, it's simply getting the bottom half to coil back effectively. And one of the great ways to feel this, because you really need to feel this, feel the time, is to get your right leg to draw back. And you're creating what we always like to say is this symmetrical knee work, where the amount that the right knee goes back, the left knee goes forwards. And from here you can actually feel, you're feeling some resistance, or you're feeling when you're getting that swing to, at the top of the swing to finish, where everything finishes together. Because there's plenty of time to get your transition right. Now the takeaway, or the movement can be fast, or it can be a bit slow. It's not about tempo. You know, when you're looking at rhythm and sequence, it's the parts, the bits and pieces that are moving together. You've got what we call a kinematic sequence, where from the top of the swing, with all the tests through biomechanics, we know that the things that are moving, really getting the knees and the hips, and then the shoulders a little bit, and then the arms, and then the hands. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, the hips, shoulders, the arms and the hands. So you obviously, look, you can't think that, can you? I mean, you've got to think less, and the dominating thought has to be the golf ball. But first off, if we're getting things to really explode too early from the top, it's really quite difficult then to get things to match up down the bottom. So by finishing this swing and just sort of drawing this leg back, you're creating a bit of an energy, and from here we can start to talk about feels, right? What you can feel, perhaps what you can practice, and not thinking too much when you're out there. But really from the get-go, from the top of the swing here, there's a couple of famous feels, and the people that I teach, we like to look at the knees, and we like to have actually just a touch of movement downwards. Now, there's a reason for this. If we can get everything to move nicely, we start a little bit down. This has a great effect of hitting the ball with a bent arm, which has got a little bit of movement down. The true average is 3 inches. You're not going to perhaps do that too quickly, but if you're moving down just a little bit, you can feel a little bit of pressure here with your lead foot, almost like you're just sinking a little bit, but you're doing it sort of with a movement that the top half, that the head is slightly on the side. It complements an opening up of the chest and a rising of the left side. Some extension. I'll say it again. We're getting the swing to collect, slightly drawing the right leg back. You can feel then if it kicks too early. That's what you're trying to do, is trying to get it all nicely in one motion. And if this kicks out too early, you'll feel that. And then from there, what you're trying to get is a little bit of a push, a little bit of a bend into that left knee, a little bit of pressure into that left foot, not too much, but you're complementing with a move on the side. The head's opening up, and this will help the body turn, and also we can get some shaft length. All right, so when we start to move downwards, if I get my hands in front, a lot of the time the club's in the air, but that's one of the reasons a lot of people lose their angles, is being up too tall. And if we can get a little bit of a sinking, gliding effect and the head moving on the side, we can open up the chest as well. A lot of people not quite getting that right, getting that motion of the head and chest opening up. We do have that secret move that we've seen so many great players when they're moving down. It's almost like that first part of the swing. So many of the legends of the game have had that right leg just sort of almost staying back in that initial stage and then getting that head to move through freely on the side. And really by applying, you know, lots of practice swings without the golf ball, we can tend to feel things a little bit better. One of the drills I love to do is get the club over the top of the ball and imagine that I'm just swinging over the top, but sort of listening to what the body then does and feeling the motion and then coming in and giving one a hit. But guys, looking at this, drawing this right leg back, getting your knees, a bit of pressure into this foot and getting the head to move on the side, and then getting up into a really balanced finish position where you've probably got the belt buckle just slightly ahead of your chest. It's going to give you your swing some really good balance and get this kinematic sequence and get these moves blending in. Let's now have a look at some fantastic ball strikers in slow motion. We can start to see these pieces of some of the best players of all time.
So guys, check out Tiger Woods and how much time that he's got at the top of the swing. Absolutely remarkable action, isn't it? I'm going to have a look at McIlroy. What a golf swing that is. Have a look here at McIlroy. And this is when he was younger, and I think this is just about as good as it gets with a driver. And I think I actually preferred this swing back there. Let's have a look when it gets to the top of the swing. Nothing moving, and that's when I always use that term, it collects at the top of the swing. Let's have a look from here. As you know, the guys, the closer you get to some of these movements, the better you're going to hit it. Let's have a look at the amount of lateral shift. Isn't that remarkable to see how far that lead hip moves forwards and that head moving down? You take away the lines and you actually don't see that, do you? You know, we see other things that stand out. Let's have a look at Tiger Woods up the top of the swing. And the same thing as applies here. We're going to put a line on top of the head. You can see this is the evidence-based material, guys, working on facts and getting you close to these positions. Look at the amount of lateral movement there. We know that we've got that 10 to 15 centimeters, 4 to 6 inches. We know that the two averages 2 to 4 inches, holding on to angles, moving down. And understanding these things are really, really important to helping you get on the track to playing your best golf. Have a look at Oosthuizen. This is so much stuff we're showing people on worldclassgolf.com, guys. You're just going to love that platform. Get on there and have a look. Have a look at the time that he's also got. It's very deceptive, this. When we get to the top of the swing, nothing moving. And then we see that initial move, that separation, the kinematic sequence, where we're looking at really getting the hips to start first. Have a look at that right leg staying back here. And that is a really, really interesting move. But when you have a look at it from here, and this is what I think is, thanks to Michael Field for the use of your pictures, have a look at this golf swing when it winds up. Nothing moves until it's right at the top. All right, so this is practicing this type of thing. It's just great to get your right leg to straighten a little bit, wind it up, and then we can get this initial move separating, getting the lead hip to move forwards. And then look at that movement, huge lateral movement, and a lot of people saying there's no lateral movement in the swing. I think you can get tablets for that. Seriously, people, wow, you got to get the evidence-based material. Look at the lead shoulder away from the big toe. We've seen Hogan, we've seen, you know, so many players moving in this direction. As we get to the top, we see the right side staying back. We're seeing that lateral shift, and then moving through the ball. We can tilt the head on to the side. Guys, if you're after online lessons, check out CraigHansonGolf.com, helping people from all around the world. You get the same format as this here. Your online lessons will go between 15 to 30 minutes. We'll be getting in there and really helping you to understand, regardless of your level, your swing, your action. And on World Class Golf, if you really want to get in there and help your short game, your action out, guys, we've got heaps of videos, different ways of describing things, getting people on the right track to play the best golf. And guys, so I hope you enjoy the video. Like to get in there and really show people what's happening with the golf swing and get everyone moving in the right direction. Thanks again.